think about what we did yesterday before we begin today. What did you create? What did you create, Vivian?
A membrane.
A real membrane?
That's impossible.
A model membrane. Good. A model membrane. And now is the moment we're going to do what? Improve it. But what do we have to do before we improve it? Julia.
Write about it.
Write about it. Write our observations about it. Could you open up to the next clean page? Okay. This is our create. We created it yesterday, and actually we tested our prototype. Right? Prototype is the model of what you made. So we tested our prototype, and we want to make observations about what we notice now. And you will have 4 parts to that page. Now, what's this?
Us.
We had some conversation about this one, I'll tell you.
It was small. I know what happened. It was the sponge.
So have some conversation. Observation.
The sponge held in too much water. There's some water on the top still. So not all the water passed through. It can. How much did it cost? 1/4. A little bit more than 1/4. I think the sponge helped greatly because it held in lots of the water. Yeah. And that was just dripping on it. So I think that'll help it. It held in half the water. The first couple minutes when we put it over there, that it was just coming through from the sides. Yeah. So maybe if we tape this down. Or maybe what she said we should have, like, for the top, like a wall of aluminum foil.
Okay, guys, can I have your attention? I know you're having some great conversations, but I think we need to share some of this, what we're seeing here. Julia, can you guys share what happened? One of you tell us what happened.
So we had on top we had foil with 2 holes. In the middle we had a sponge, and then on the bottom we had 3 coffee filters. So what we think went wrong was that the sponge was blocking too much of the water from going down into the coffee filters, and then the coffee filters couldn't drip the water down fast enough. So something's wrong with the sponge.
Okay, so Julia's team thinks that there's something wrong with the sponge. And actually when I was over there, they were talking about maybe cutting the sponge in half. So let's share some ideas about the sponge from other groups. And let's see if maybe their ideas can kind of help you out in making your improvement. So Abby's group and Thomas's group.
We used the felt in the sponge because we knew the sponge was slow, but the felt was fast, so it'll go faster through the sponge, and not so fast it'll go fast through the felt, but not so fast through the sponge.
So Thomas, do you want to add something to that, or is that how you see that?
That's how I see it.
That's how you see that. So do you think it's the sponge that's the problem?
No.
They don't see the sponge as a problem. Anybody else have sponge in theirs? And let's see what we could talk about the sponge. Well, everybody's got sponge. Okay, Vivian, your group, what do you guys think?
Well, we found that the aluminum foil with a sponge and 5 coffee filters, I think we might have needed something else, because it went 1/4.
So you had too much water go through. You had too little, and you had too much. Is that right?
Maybe it's the way they placed it.
Maybe the way it's set up, right? So maybe the layers. So that's something to think about. Or the holes, right? Did you have too much water go through? Yeah. Can you see this group? They had too much. Look at, they have a lot of water. Too much water go through. So this group has too much. You have too little, and you both use sponge, right? So do you think it's the sponge? It might not be the sponge, so it might be something to consider, something else in the design. Julia, a light bulb just went off in your head. Did you guys see it?
I think I know what happened. So Nicole's group and Vivian's group, they both used foil, and then they used felt. So, and theirs looks like a nice amount. Is it?
Yeah, they're under the line.
So
a little under the line.
I think that if we replaced the foil with felt, that it would work better.
Did any other group have some success using foil? Okay, let's see this group.
We had sponge on top of the aluminum foil with one hole, and it didn't go too fast, and we don't have too much or too little.
Okay. So I don't know if I helped you. It's not my job, it's your job. But anyway, so something to consider that maybe it wasn't the sponge, okay? Because everybody's using sponge, and we have a lot of different results, okay? So everybody record your finish recording your observations, and then come up with an improve. What might you do to improve that design?
I have a better idea. Yeah. Anything would be better for now. Because, can't you see that there's still water on there? Yeah, it's like right there. We keep the aluminum foil, add more holes. Keep the aluminum foil, add more holes, and put the aluminum foil on the bottom and put a piece of felt on top. No, wait. Coffee filter. No. Coffee filters on top. No sponge. No sponge. No sponge. Only use coffee filters, felt. No sponge.
So what might you do differently when you improve it?
Maybe get a bigger piece of aluminum foil.
Did you cut this one to fit inside? Okay, so maybe the size of the foil might make a difference? How many holes did you have in the foil?
0.
Oh, you didn't have any holes. So what do you think is going to happen with no holes and the foil taped around? You think the water is going to go through?
Maybe not too much, because when we recorded last time, it was only drops.
Do you actually think the water went right through the foil with no holes? What do you think, Jason? Do you think water can go through foil with no holes in it? If I have foil taped all the way around with no holes, do you think the water can go through? No? Okay. Okay, so attention, engineers. Thank you so much. Once this is complete and you're having conversation about improve, go to the next page, or if you only used half the page, you can continue on that page, but this is your title for that section, improve. Design number 2.
Do we have to improve it?
Can you improve it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think you've perfected it?
Yep.
So let's see, why don't you think you can improve that?
Well, we got right under the line.
The under it?
Right. Exactly under it. How we can improve it?
I don't think we should improve it.
You don't think you can improve it? Well, maybe if you, let's see, maybe if you change something, I'm just saying, maybe if you did, you could see what results would happen from that, and you would know if that one was the best one or not. Do you know what I'm saying? So we test 2 different things.
Who are we on improve now? Kiana? What are we gonna put on top of the sponge? I think the aluminum foil, and then another sponge, and then the coffee. No, the coffee filter should be at the bottom so it blocks off the edges. Oh yeah. So we're gonna have the coffee filters. How many of them should we have? Just enough so it doesn't sink. I think we should keep 5 because we're gonna use 2 sponges. 5. Okay, what are we gonna have over the coffee filters? We're gonna have a sponge. Okay. Kiana, you agree? Yeah. And then aluminum foil, I think, should go after the sponge, and then another sponge.
What's your thought?
We think now that we tested it and it went a little bit over the line, we should put a sponge and then aluminum foil, then a sponge, and 5 coffee filters. We're gonna have the coffee filters, like a wall come up so it doesn't slow through the sides.
So you're going to change to 2 sponges, and you're changing the size of the coffee filter.
Yeah.
Is that's an agreement from the whole team? Yeah. Before I see you over here to test your model membrane and leave it overnight again, be sure that in your notebook you have written how these changes will improve your design. And one other thing, follow this plan. Don't change it as you go. Follow the plan. Changing it will come in the next improve. Okay? Don't keep changing along the way because then you forget what you did. You forget your design.
Okay, I'm going to take this apart now. Look at all the water.
Yes.
I can't stick a hole in that.
Okay. So let's think about that. Why do you need a hole in the felt?
So it can drip through easier.
Okay, so can you go back to your lesson 3 when we tested the materials?
Sure.
Kendra, lesson 3 when you tested the materials, what did the felt do?
The water drips. So we don't need that. But she's using 2 pieces.
Okay, so do you think, my question is, do you think that you need a hole in it? When we tested it, what did we observe?
That it did half a cup in 30 seconds.
So what does that mean? It has a lot of what?
Has a lot of holes. So we don't need to add another hole.
What do you think?
In the middle. Down in the middle. I see it. Our poor frog.
What do you think?
He's gonna drown.
You can't drown.
Coming out of the holes. And fast.
Too fast?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, look, it's already like, yeah, that water's gonna be gone.
All right, well, what can you do tomorrow to improve?
Put a sponge in it.
You have a lot of changes here, huh?
Yeah. We kept the tape. That's the
Oh.
Without the foil would stop it.
It had no holes.
Foil even have holes.
So let me ask you something. What was better, this design or your first one?
The first design.
All righty.
It's not dripping yet. That's a good thing. No, because it's gonna take a while.
How's it look?
It looks okay. It's pretty
Good.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to cover.
No, it's only because we put so much water in. Eventually it'll slow down.
You think it will, Vivian?
It's slowing down. It goes slower than faster.
What do you think, Savannah? What do you think, Adam?
I think it's good.
Oh, no. Oh, what is it?
Probably the felt.
The felt?
And the
dead.
It's not dead. It's not dead.
now it's dripping.
Okay, gently. Don't lean on this.
But it's probably because we also placed it on rock again. We definitely have to improve it.
All right.
Okay, I think this is going to do good.
Yeah, because it drips slower than
I think it's like kind of has like 3 drips at a time.
Good job. We will know if we are successful or when we wake up and come to school tomorrow, right? And if we haven't improved, what can we do? Improve again. And what if it's only improved a little? What could we do? Improve again. Engineers probably can sometimes improve 100 times before they get something right. Is it the end of the world? Nope. They want a technology that works, they have to work very hard at it. When we're done with something, we always go back to the, or I try to always go back to the guiding question, because you start with the guiding question to get them to think about what it is we'll eventually do in this lesson and learn about. And then when we come back and have conversations, it's good because they start to share out. And part of the process is identifying what worked well and what didn't work well, and what can we do to imagine something that can help improve that. And I love to see that students at this age having those conversations about, gee, I think we should try this, maybe this will improve it. Improve doesn't take as much time as the other parts of the lesson. And sometimes I've actually had them improve 3 and 4 times because they really want to do it. 2 students went home, designed a plan, found some materials, and actually created model membranes. And they both brought them in. One brought them in on one day, another student brought it in on another day. Another student said, oh, I'm working with my mom, and we're creating a model membrane at home. So I think this is so awesome that children are thinking about engineering. They're going home, they're having conversations with their family about it, and they're excited about it. So I find that students always love that the best because it's like that's the thing they've been waiting to do. And they did a really good job with it. I think this is one of my favorites because with this engineering unit, they're working with a little animal and they get really excited about it. No, I just, no. When thinking about worksheets that they're using, I use the guide as a guide. It's not necessarily something I have to follow exactly. For example, in the imagine part of this unit, it suggests that you do 4 imagines. And my experience has been that to imagine 4 ways takes a long time for students to think about 4 different possibilities when they already have in their mind some kind of notion of what they think this should look like and what materials might be best. So I cut that back to 2. For time's sake, for not to stress them out either, you know, and I think 2 was sufficient. They imagined 2 and then their group came together and they came up with one plan. I just think sometimes, you know, you just kind of make that call. That's going to work for this group, you know.